Welcome to Storytelling. This week's guest is quoted saying the following: "To dare is to be audacious, to be bold and to step up to the challenge. Success at the next level awaits you only if you dare to step up to the plate and play. This requires new sets of action, a change from our old ways of thinking and setting goals." He is passionate about bringing the best out of others. He inspires confidence and motivates action in people. He believes that there is a leader in everyone. He is a practicing pharmacist, an entrepreneur, and the author of 2 books on personal development. With his wife Bola, they run 4 pharmacies in London. Please welcome Wole Ososami. Hello, Wole, and welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Debbie. Thank you for having me on your show.
Wole, why should we dare to be successful?
The challenges that we have in life is that some of us think that we can live life without improving ourselves. It's easy, I always say, to do the same thing over and over again and expect or just get the same results and be satisfied. Many people are satisfied that way, and that's okay. But for some of us, there is that innate thing, there's that drive that is in you that wants to do something better, that wants to improve yourself. And so success may not be for everyone but it's only for those who dare to be successful, who dare to take the challenge, who dare to step up in what they're doing, who dare to improve their lot in life, who dare to improve the society that they meet in. So I think that's one reason why you should dare to be successful.
So with that in mind, how do you define success?
Success includes having a goal or a dream or a project that you're working towards and then making progress towards it. I like to call it that you are growing yourself, you are improving yourself as a person, and you are perhaps working towards achieving your goal. Now, to be successful implies that you have a goal, you have a dream, you have something you are working towards to achieve. And it is the progression towards that achievement that is success, not necessarily achieving it. Because what I always say is that when you do reach that destination, you just might find out that there's still another step up the ladder that you want to go on to.
So you're suggesting that we focus more on the journey?
I like to describe it as a journey rather than a destination.
You're not necessarily just talking about business or career success, but you also focus on personal goals as well.
Yes, not necessarily business or career. Some of us want to have successful marriages. Some of us want to have successful relationships. Some of us just want to be successful in the way we handle our personal finances. Yes, so it's not necessarily a business. What it is that you have a goal, you have a dream, you have something you are working towards, and it is you're making an effort. Yes, there is an effort that needs to be made to achieve that goal.
So, Wole, what happens when we don't plan for our success, when we don't quite achieve that end goal? What advice would you provide?
Well, what I like to say is that, first of all, you are the one who has set the goal. You are the one who has set the time frame for yourself, so you can always make necessary adjustments. But along the way, I have found out that success involves a bit of overcoming challenges. And when I say success awaits those who dare, one of the things you have to dare to do is to pick yourself up from failure. So when you set a target for yourself and you do not achieve it, there will always be the disappointment. There will always be loss of whatever investment in time or resources. But you just have to pick yourself up from that and learn your lessons and then move on. So yes, there will be a lot of failures perhaps along the way.
You're absolutely right, and it's those challenges and lessons that helps us to become stronger and more resilient. What other things should we consider in terms of having a successful outcome?
Well, let me tell you, I'll give you one of my top three things. I like to, first of all, dare to desire a new level of success. What that means is that you have to plan for it, you have to desire it, and then you have to work towards it. It's not automatic. And it involves a bit of sacrifice. It will cost you something, but then it's not something you are achieving at all costs. So first you have to dare and you have to desire it. If you're satisfied with where you are, that's fine. That's okay. You may have a successful marriage already, or you may have a successful relationship. That's okay. There's no, perhaps you think no other level of improvement you can do that. That's fine. So you have to dare to desire a new level. We talked about failure earlier on. I like to say that I, as a person, I'm a business person. And for me, every new venture which we go into is a risk. It's an adventure into the future. And anything that is in the future will necessarily have a lot of uncertainty involved with it. And so therefore, you're not sure whether you will achieve it, and things may change. And so you have to dare to pick yourself from failure. And then finally, one of the other things you have to do is that you also have to dare to overcome what I call your or my or our individual self-limiting beliefs. Because as individuals, we set limits for ourselves. We think that thus far have I come, can't do any better. But then when you step out into something new, you just may realize that you can do better than you're doing now. So those three things are important. Yeah.
One of the things you touched upon just now was to desire success, but not at any cost. Can you touch upon that a bit further?
Not at any cost. That's why it's also about personal growth. It's not just the destination that is important. The journey itself is perhaps as important, if not much more important than the destination. The people you meet, the relationships you make are also quite important. So when I say not at any cost, you don't want to achieve, for example, your business goals at the expense of your marriage or your relationship or your health, or even sacrificing your values as an individual just because you want to be successful. It's not at any cost. It's not worth it, because we are human beings and we tend to interact with other human beings. We are here for a purpose, and one of that is to make the place a better place than we have met it. So it is not at any cost.
You also previously touched upon self-limiting beliefs, which can have a negative impact on us achieving our goals. How can we overcome this?
That's right. We all have what I call self-limiting beliefs, self-imposed limits. So I have set limits to what I think I can do. For example, working out in the gym, I have suddenly looked at this particular weight or this bar and I said, no, I cannot do it. Yes, I cannot do it because I have not done it before. But with the help of my coach, I start to lift it up little by little. And suddenly I realized that I can actually do more than I thought I could do. So we all have limits which we have imposed on ourselves, and we have to overcome that. And there are very many ways that you can overcome those. One of that is to have a coach or a trainer who helps you to overcome your own limits. And the other thing you can also do is to be a person who steps out of their comfort zone. Always say yes to new things that come your way. Even if you don't know how to do it, you can always figure it out later. So that is what I call those self-limiting beliefs, which we have to overcome to be successful.
You just mentioned that you have a coach. How important is it to have a coach or a mentor?
I would like to say that it's very, very important if you want to go beyond your own limits. If you want to get the best out of yourself, you need a coach. Coaches are the best examples I can think of, perhaps, that we all know in football, in athletics, in sports in particular. We see that all these top athletes have coaches. These guys are very good in themselves, but yet they have someone who is able to pull them beyond what they think they can do themselves. So I always recommend getting a personal coach or a business coach or whatever coach you can get if you desire to go beyond your limits.
And how important is it to be true to yourself when achieving your goals?
Yes. When we say true to yourself, that in itself, perhaps some people think that changing to become who you should become is not being true to yourself, because you as a person might have had some beliefs coming up from your environment which thus limits you, and to overcome some of these things you have to become you have to grow as a person, and suddenly you just might not recognize yourself when you're further down the line, but you are still true to yourself, you're still true to your values, you're still true to yourself as a person, believing that, yes, I want to achieve this, and to do this, I need to make certain adjustments. So definitely you have to, people say you have to be authentic, and to be authentic does not necessarily mean that you have to stay the same. No, there is growth that happens in you. New information comes your way. You suddenly see some blind spots in your life which you have to overcome. And some of these may mean that you become a changed person, but you are still true to yourself because you are achieving a goal and you are overcoming those barriers.
What final words of advice would you provide to someone who's about to step into an arena where they want to achieve their goals?
My advice to you is to adopt time as a friend. Everything takes time. Everything you do as a business person, I like to tell myself that it'll probably cost me twice as much and take twice as long. So we have to be patient with ourselves, really patient sometimes, because not just twice, it might take you 3 times as long or cost you thrice as much. But if you have a desire, if you have the will, and if you still find the goal or the project relevant to where you are, then you have to persevere and you have to keep at it. Unless you are in the game, you cannot win the game. So just be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the people you meet along the way. Be patient, be patient, be patient. You will get there if you remain on the journey.
Wole Ososami, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Debbie, once again for having me. Appreciate it.
I found this quote from an unknown source. It says, "Excellence is never an accident. It is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and a vision to see obstacles as opportunities." Do you dare to be successful? If you would like further information about Wole, then please follow the link in the show notes.